Welcome to a Mike Full podcast. We are joined by my co-host. I'm, of course, Brad. We have Johnny, we have Jaime, and we have Gabe, who is looking a little upset right now.
Yeah, not feeling too hot.
God damn it! Why are you upset, Gabe?
Well, let's tell the fans about a competition that we had this weekend over the recent fight card, UFC. We got each $500 to bet, and the standings were as following. Who's got them? Can we get a drum roll? Who's got the standings? Who wants to announce that one? Brad.
I won.
I mean, that's
yeah. I think it was me, Johnny, Jaime, and then Gabe bringing up the rear, if I am not mistaken.
But in order to put this in context, this is how it went down. So up until the very last card or the fight in the card, me and Gabe were their total whopping winnings of $0. We're heading into the last fight. I needed Gaethje to win, and he needed just anybody to choke the shit out of anybody else. That's all he needed. And I don't know if Gabe remembers. He was a little tipsy at that point. It was not looking good for him.
Gaethje had to win by knockout or decision for you to not come in last, right?
Yeah.
If he won by submission or Ferguson won, you both would have been in last, or Gabe would have beat you.
Yeah. And literally the card I had least faith in, but I hoped for the most out of that whole night came true and saved me from eating. Want to take it away, Gabe? What are you going to be eating today?
I'm going to be eating a habanero.
I did choose this pepper because I saw Gabe at the store. And I chose the one for him.
Damn.
It was handpicked? Handpicked.
Yep, handpicked.
Man, I wish I had Brad Squash to wash this down. But the secret is out. I am not a Raider fan. I'm a fake Raider fan. Go Chiefs.
How you doing, buddy? Uh-oh.
Hey, hold it down a little bit there. All right.
Oh.
Gabe, you right there?
Oh,
Yep,
hey. Yep.
Can confirm.
Doing the old porno, I swallowed the cum shot.
If you know, you know.
How you doing?
Oh, going straight.
Just immediately eats ice cream.
Nope, going straight for the ice cream.
Oh my God.
Looks like he's in pain there, Brad. What do you think he's experiencing at this moment?
You experienced eating that nacho cheese?
Oh my God.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's so hot.
Oh, it's not that bad. Come on.
The back of my throat hurts.
Oh God. Look at his face is getting red.
Oh my God.
Well, Gabe, do you want to give us your opinion on the UFC 249 fight card?
Fuck off.
No! Come back! Come back!
Be a man!
You fool! You scum!
For those of you listening at home, Gabe just ran away.
Hold on. Let's be quiet. See if we hear anything. He's being consoled by his wife.
Yep.
Doesn't appear to be looking good.
She's gonna rub his back, tell him everything's gonna be okay, and that he's a
Take
fake Mexican.
It's
just a pepper.
So, what do you guys think as the card as a whole?
I was surprised that I was surprised though. There wasn't a lot of finishes, but I was just glad to have anything be shown. You know,
it was a good fight card, like through and through. It was a really good fight card from the very first fight, all the way through. It was even like Sam Elvey and Ryan Spann was the first fight, and like I thought nothing of that fight. I wasn't expecting to be entertained. I don't know if it was just the lack of sports that made me entertained, but
Brought down your standards a little bit.
it might have been. But it was a decent fight, followed up by one of the most intense displays of grappling domination I've ever seen in my entire life. Bryce Mitchell, sir, how dare you? Who's getting his camo shorts now?
I looked down and saw Thompson on my paper. That's why I was like, Thompson.
I didn't see that one. Who ended up winning? I didn't get to Gabe's yet.
Bryce Mitchell
Oh,
molested Charles Rosa for 3 straight rounds.
I wanted to put money on that so bad,
Dude,
bro.
he had like 4 attempts at a twister and almost locked it up twice in a row. There's only been 2 finishes by twister, but I want to say him and the Korean Zombie in the UFC history. And he almost scored another one and literally attempted it 4 times. I've never seen anybody use the twister other than like an, oh shit, I'm already here. I can do this submission. Like I fumbled my way into a twister. He was setting them up legitimately every time.
Yeah.
I mean,
wait. The beast is back.
Gabe's coming in with an entire jug of water.
Yeah, not like a little gallon. It's literally a dispenser, a water dispenser.
Is that some
If
sweat I see?
You know water's bad for peppers, right? It just disperses the heat.
Yeah, look at him. He's sweating a little bit there, buddy. You look a little moist.
Yeah, dude, I don't have milk in the water. At least it cools it down, dude.
Look a little moist. A little shiny there.
Yeah, but Jaime, you missed it though. Start the 3rd round. Bryce Mitchell, like from a standing position, went into a twister.
It was amazing. Almost locked it up. Like legitimately from a takedown to twister. It was amazing.
So he was actively looking for it that whole fight?
He was looking to embarrass Charles Rosa the entire time. That was all he was planning on doing.
Wasn't Rosa the favorite? I want to say it was close, though. The odds.
Might have been.
That's kind of... What the fuck, man? I'm going to go back and watch that fight
No,
now.
he was not.
Okay.
Rosa was the underdog. Not by much.
Yeah, right. It was close.
But yeah, he was like literally just actively looking to embarrass him the entire time.
What about that Nico Price fight?
What about Nico Price's face afterward? Holy shit. Did you guys see that Instagram post?
Yeah.
Dude got murdered.
That was my first fight that I was like, oh shit, something's going my way.
That was Nico Price. I still really like him. He really showed off how tough he was in that fight. But man, he died in the octagon.
Yeah, that was like a perfect example of high energy, just high output first round to somebody who's an experienced fighter and paces himself and just picked him apart, man.
I mean, Nico Price was pretty high output that entire fight, though. Like to give him
but
credit.
I mean, you compared to that first round is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like his strikes, he was just swinging, but you could tell he was gassed. Gabe was like, "Yo, he's done after first round." He was exhausted.
Yeah,
it was a hell of a fight, though.
Yeah. No doubt. I wish they could have finished that last. Was a little over a minute. But, I mean, nothing would have changed. They just did it to preserve his face, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he was taking a lot of unanswered shots at the end there.
His hands were down most of the fight, yo.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that?
I think with maturity, Nico Price is going to become a really, really good fighter.
Isn't he like 31 already, though?
But with
30,
fight
31?
maturity, like how long has he been professionally fighting? Like with fight maturity, when he realizes like it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like when you see the opponent's injured, that's when it becomes a sprint. Like, let's finish this fast. But you shouldn't be swinging for the fences with every single shot, unless your name's Justin Gaethje. But we'll get to that later.
And technically, yeah, he's 31, but like fight prime is like that range, you know? Like
I feel like fight prime.
36.
Yeah, I feel like 30, 33, 34 is right when you start entering it. It's a lot different compared to to all the other sports. Where at 34, you're like, oh, he's done.
It's an intelligence thing.
Yeah.
It's really an intelligence thing.
It's
Like,
not just. Yeah, I get you.
It's everyone thinks fighting is just like people who don't know just think fighting is people coming out and fucking punching each other and brawling. It's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of mental shit. It's not just kill that man. So moving on to the one fight that I actually missed, I think Jaime has some strong opinions about this one.
Which one's the Michelle Waterson fight?
Yeah, it is.
You bastards. She was robbed. The first of many bad decisions, questionable decisions, I'll say, on the night.
Loved every part of that.
He loved it just because I had money on it. Like that's just literally the only reason. But when she was facing, everyone, like, I've seen all the comments now, like, it's hard to fight when she's swinging, when she's like 6 feet away, 7 feet away. Oh yeah, they're practicing social distancing, all that stuff. But you're going against a high-level wrestler, in Carla Esparza. And for her to only get taken down, I think maybe it was just that one time in the first round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's pretty damn good. She did a really good job of stuffing the takedown. Then again, she did take shitty shots. But she did take shitty shots because Michelle was so back. And Michelle was kind of pushing the pace a lot of the fight. I feel like she just did more than Carla did at that point. And I felt like it could have gone either way, but I didn't agree with the call. I think Michelle did enough to win that fight. I didn't like it at all. And at the end, you could kind of see how
could have
she
gone
was
either
like,
way. It was the biggest rob of the night.
Oh, it was a shitty call. It was a shitty call. I guess because there wasn't a lot of movement between both. But when you see who did the most out of that, it was Michelle. That's how I see it.
I only saw round 3, and Michelle lost round 3. Carla Esparza did have some of the worst takedown attempts that I've ever seen, though. Holy shit, they were bad.
It's just I don't know, man. Like I don't know. But Michelle showed great character after the fight. She took it. Okay, what happened happened. I love her, man.
Yeah, Michelle Waterson's a class act.
Yeah.
Oh, God, dude, my fucking Animal Crossing island's going to get some work done because I'm going to sit on that toilet for a while.
God, you have a Nintendo Switch?
You don't, Brad?
Dude, I've been trying to find one for 3 months now. They're sold out everywhere.
Yeah. No, they have I mean, if you want the light, they restocked.
I don't want the light.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Dude,
but they just restocked on it today.
It is the greatest piece of gaming I've ever owned.
I told you again.
To be able to have the same quality in my pocket. Oh.
But the Switch Lite is just the regular Switch, but you can't take the controllers off.
Yeah, that's weak.
And you can't dock
it. I never use the TV in general, but the idea that I couldn't irks me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm sure 90% of the time I'm gonna play it handheld or have it sitting like on my table and play it. But
yeah.
The fact that I can't plug it in, like for Breath of the Wild, I'm going to want to plug that into my TV.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. Or like Mario Odyssey. I'll probably plug that shit into my TV.
Yeah, there's certain games where it's like you need to, you know what I mean? And even like with the handheld mode, since it doesn't have the little bumpers where it's like easier to grip, your fingers do kind of get like a little fucked up.
Plus, I like for like Mario Kart and shit like that, you can use just one of the Switch controllers. So that way you could just hand the other one off to your friend and play. Like, I just want to be able to hold just the one half of the controller.
Yeah.
Like, I want to just be able to do that. But you can't do that with the shitty. Plus, what's the fun of having a fucking Nintendo where you have games like Mario Party and Smash, but you can't play with your friends? Like, what's the fucking point?
I literally just told Johnny that earlier today. I'm like, in case you want to play with Liz or, your family or whatever. He's like, oh, fuck that. Shit's for me.
Yeah, but Nintendo's
what game
like
do you want, Johnny?
Pokemon and Smash.
Yeah, so
pretty much all the Mario
Pokemon
games.
Pokemon you can do handheld.
Yeah.
Can we do Smash online?
You can do Smash online. Yeah.
So all 3 of us could, or all 4 of us could play if we all had it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but still, I still want a couch co-op.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I still want that option.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy a Switch. Not to mention, the Switch looks unruly as fuck as the Switch Lite. Like, that's just too big.
For what it is, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
it's just obnoxious. You're holding a fucking. It's like trying to play a game on a tablet. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
At that point, just get the regular. That's what I was telling Johnny. Just get the regular.
But the problem is I literally the other like last week before, I saw online there was this brand new Nintendo Switch, the actual real one, at a Target down the street from my house. I got there 5 minutes after they opened, and they had sold it to, quote, the same guy who comes in and buys all of them. He's the fucking scalper in town who sells them for $450 after he buys them at Target.
No, dude, they're up to like 600 now, dude.
Yeah, it's on Craigslist. You can find them for like $450 here in town.
Wow.
Damn.
But we're also a lot bigger town than Hollister.
But
So.
isn't that? Oh no, they're $2.99.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
$2.99.
$2.99.
I was saying that's not bad if they're $3.99, but they're $2.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still though, it's fucking ridiculous. It's dumb. Like I'm not about to pay $450.
It's tough, man. Yeah.
Moving on. We're not a video gaming podcast.
You can't.
Olenek Werdum. Which honestly, Olenek Werdum, I kind of thought that was probably one of the weakest fights on this card.
I think Verdum started slow, but I think that was also a really bad decision. I think Verdum, he did enough to win the fight.
I mean, I text the group. Yeah, I honestly, I thought Werdum won as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I text you guys. Their striking, especially in the last round, looked like two drunks bar fighting. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Well, fucking Olenek just came out throwing haymakers. Like I've never seen him do that, or at least recently. The last couple fights I've seen, he just tries to wrestle.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we just say how lean he looked in this one?
He did,
Right?
Well,
They
quarantine, dude.
both actually kind of looked pretty good.
Quarantine.
I was really because I was going for Verdum and the submission.
There's water. For those of you who can't see, he is currently brought up his giant water gallon dispensary and just put it on his table as he's talking, just pouring more water.
Well, actually, let's get an update. How are you feeling, Gabe?
Like I said, dude, I want to be sitting on the toilet for a while.
But it's not bad anymore, right? Like you don't feel like you can't talk.
No. When that happened, dude. Okay, so there was one time, a little bit of story. I was at the gym and it was early in the morning, and I took like a cayenne pill, like not thinking, because sometimes I'll take it at night to like get the sweats and get metabolism going. So I took it before the gym and I got like really lightheaded, and I thought it was my pre-workout, and then I just felt the burning sensation in my stomach, and because I had nothing in my stomach. So I'm like walking through Avella's like lightheaded, about to pass out. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Get the complete sweats, shit everything out of my stomach, and then just go back to the workout. So it's feeling similar to that, but a little bit more intense. But when I first ate it, I was like, oh shit. Like,
When did it first hit you?
Um,
Because you were like chewing that for a good.
Oh, I know.
little
So
bit.
when I ate it, I was just chewing it, and I'm like, fuck, okay, it's kind of burning, but I'm not gonna swallow it whole and it just like be burning and choking it down. Like I feel like I'll throw that up. So
You had that little
Right.
pause.
then-
We could hear you chewing, and you stopped for a bit, and then you just hear you go again.
Well, because I was like chewing, and as I was chewing, saliva was mixing in with the seeds, and so it got really spicy in my mouth. So I like swallowed only the juice, which was the seeds.
Oh no!
And that's when I was like, and that's when I just reached for this tea, and I was just like drinking it, and then I was just like, and you guys like, are you good? And I'm like, yo, there's a really hot, spicy fireball in my throat right now. So I'm like, taking it down.
They legit taste kind of good though, right?
It wasn't that bad. Like it like the more I was chewing, the flavor wasn't that bad. It was just the heat was growing bigger and bigger. Each like seed I cracked, and I was like, oh god.
So did I pick a good one?
You picked a pretty good one, man.
Actually,
Well,
a tip
Right now,
for
my
you-
arms are just weak.
a tip for you guys: if you get like a pound of hamburger meat and one habanero, like take the seeds out. If you cut off all the seeds, get rid of them, and then dice up the habanero super tiny, and then mix it in with like a pound of hamburger meat, I swear to God, some of the best burgers you'll ever eat.
You did that for us.
You did that for
Oh,
Orlando's
that's right. Yeah.
You did it for the
For the
draft.
party.
and the draft. You did it
Oh,
at
and the
Orlando's. Yeah, you did it. Yeah.
Yeah, you did it. You did it at the fantasy draft.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
The one that you actually knew what you were doing.
Yeah. Then when I tried to kill Orlando, poor guy. Is he still alive? Did he make it through 22?
Till this day, we do not know where he is. No.
Oh my god. Fucking almost killed him. I thought he drank before that night.
Dude, he was drinking that whole afternoon. The whole day.
No, but I mean, I thought he like had experience drinking. Like I thought he was an experienced drinker.
Oh no.
And he was talking a lot of shit about how I couldn't kill him with alcohol.
I showed up at 4, dog, and he was already gone.
All right, moving on to the main event of the prelims, Pettis and Cerrone.
That was a great fight.
That
It
was a
was.
great fight.
Yeah.
Those guys, like, they're the whole like pictures and everything backstage and everything. Like, that's part of the reason that I really like fighting is that they were throwing bombs. They were trying to kill each other in the octagon, but still in
After
between
the fight.
rounds. Yeah, and
After the fight, you know.
in
they were
between
just-
rounds, they were hugging each other. You know, I think Donald Cerrone was like, "Hey, good shit!" Like halfway through, like that's awesome. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great fight. Great fight.
I would have went Cerrone on this one. I may just personal bias by me, but
I
needed
definitely
115, but-
didn't think it was going to be unanimous Pettis. I thought
Yeah.
split Pettis for sure.
Yeah.
I thought Pettis won, but I thought it was going to be split decision.
Yeah. I kind of called this fight, and I even told Gabe right before. Is that the one we had a bet on, Gabe?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a bet, shotgun a beer. And
Oh no, that wasn't that one.
it was that one.
It was.
Yeah, it
that one,
was.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was. It was that one.
No, that one was
was Stevens.
Stevens and Cater.
Oh.
Mm.
What did we bet? Oh, wait, why? Oh, you had money on Cowboy. That was
Yeah.
why. And yeah, I called it. I told him, and he was very upset.
So damn, I was supposed to take advice from you, but you have this kind of memory.
Good fight though.
Yeah.
It was
It was
really
a
good.
good fight.
Both of them definitely put out, and I really like that Cowboy at the very end said like, I'm not going anywhere. Like there was a lot of questions. We even talked about like, should he retire? And he showed like he didn't win the fight, so he's on a 4-fight losing streak right now.
No.
But he still showed that he's still got it. Like he can still throw hands. But I did like that they brought up when they were calling it, like his face started swelling a little bit early. And it could have been due to previous injuries. Like,
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, from
That tissue is gonna react a lot differently after taking all that punishment, man.
yeah, it's like a lot of fighters with cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
Like I want to say Werdum, actually, his cauliflower ear popped and started bleeding. It's that scar tissue will bleed more. So it was. Yeah,
Nate Diaz in his forehead.
Nate Diaz in his forehead. Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
one ply toilet paper.
And can we take a moment and talk about how crazy it was to hear the sound of the punches crack without the crowd there?
I thought it was amazing. I
Oh, it was
mean,
great.
since I wrestled like literally my whole life, and that's kind of how the gyms are during a wrestling tournament or a match. You just hear everything that goes down. You hear the coaches on the sideline. That's how I saw it, and I loved it.
Joe Rogan pointed out a couple of times, but I like when fighters were talking like to their coaches,
Yeah.
like as they were fighting. That was pretty
Honestly, I kind of liked no crowd better than I like crowd, to be honest. The
Mhm.
crowd definitely has a spot, but I know we talked about it like on the group chat that we have. We were talking about like how all the people who fucking boo whenever the fight goes to the ground, like it was really welcome to not have that there. But at the same time, like there was a level of energy that wasn't in this fight because there's no crowd getting hyped for every big shot. But at the same time, at home, you could hear the power behind those big shots.
Yeah, and Gabe also pointed out that same thing that night. And the way I see it is that it also helped in a way where fighters couldn't sell that they won the fight as easy with fans not being there. And I like that personally because you're more focusing on the actual fighting instead of how the crowd reacts. Like sometimes like everyone will cheer, like you say, when they'll do a roundhouse to the face, but then it's perfectly blocked, but you hear that loud smack and everyone's like, oh, it's like, okay, well, it didn't connect. Why are you cheering?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it was. I don't think they're ever gonna do this because money, but I do think they should do one fight a year with no crowd now, just because how fucking cool that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have to be like possibly a fight night, but there's just no reason to do it that way.
No, the UFC would lose fucking millions of dollars every time they
Mhm.
did that on just
Yeah.
entry fee for the fight alone. So it's not going to happen, but it would be kind of cool if it did.
But can you imagine, like, if there was a crowd there, like, hearing booing during the Bryce Mitchell fight?
Yeah, that would have infuriated me.
Because that was
Although that
good-
was an exciting match of grappling. Like, I think even people who boo when the fight goes to the ground, like, I think they would have been entertained by that.
Hmm.
But I think like Olenek and Werdum definitely would have gotten boos.
Which fight was it, Gabe, that you pointed that out?
Pointed
I
what
think
out?
pointed it out like, you see, I'm so glad that they don't have fans because this is where they would be booing.
Oh,
don't
I think it
remember.
was against this Bryce Mitchell one. It was pretty. Oh no, because you weren't there.
No,
don't
I
remember which
wasn't
one it was.
there. I think it was a Verdum one because remember that time where they were like hell exhausted and they're on the feet? I think that was it.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a lot of like really slow clinch work in that one where they were both
Mhm.
taking time to rest. So it was like they definitely would have booed at that.
Yeah.
Or
Oh no, it was the
even-
Greg Hardy fight.
Oh
It was
yeah,
the
I was
Greg-
gonna say
Yeah.
another one they would have booed on is the next fight, Hardy to Castro.
I'm glad they did it because I think like Greg Hardy surprised a lot of people, and because of his reputation, they would have booed him. But he put on a clinic after the first round. Like he was methodical. Like he knew to take his chances. The counter punches were there. Like he looks good. He looks smooth.
He's getting
Yeah.
smarter, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, De Castro didn't throw a single strike in like 3
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
I
So-
feel like I don't know what happened. Well, he couldn't get that reach, man.
It looked
Yeah.
like he broke his foot.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. Oh, because he extended on that kick where he barely missed, and that's what Joe Rogan was talking about too, where he
Yeah.
barely hit with his toes or whatever. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
Could
it
have been
was it was when Greg Hardy checked that one kick that it
Yeah.
looked like he broke his foot.
But then that's still good on Hardy to keeping the fight where he wants it to be, because I think Castro was looking for him to tighten the pocket and do how he would normally do and just kind of
Yeah.
punch everywhere. So he stayed patient. I thought it was a good fight.
Yeah.
I just looked at Jorgen De Castro's Instagram page. He definitely broke his foot because he's in a wheelchair right now.
Jeez.
Um,
Hey, but De Castro, he was that first round, man.
he was popping off.
Yeah, those combos. Oh, we were like the first 20 seconds. We're like, oh, okay, this guy's
Yeah.
gonna come. Yeah, and Greg Hardy, shut up. Greg Hardy, he took those leg kicks, man. His thigh was just red, and it was not looking good.
No, it was not.
Mhm.
I thought Greg Hardy's leg was going to break. Stevens Qatar. You guys chugged beer over this one.
Yeah, but dude, if it was a nice beer chugging, man. That was a good ass fight.
That was it was a nasty knockout too.
Cater took him out, bro. That elbow destroyed him.
Yeah. Stevens was fucked up. That was a lot of blood.
We didn't even know it was the fucking elbow that was the one that knocked him out until they did that instant replay, and we're like, "What the hell?" It was
I
an
think-
elbow he snuck in there.
I think he dropped another elbow that was the one
Yeah.
that split his face open.
Yeah, when he
Like-
when he was on the floor, he came in with that elbow. But dude, that was so nice, man.
That
It
was
was beautiful.
other than the fight that we have coming up next, I think that was probably one of my favorite knockouts of the night. Like, there weren't a ton of knockouts, but that was
They were,
definitely up there. That was a fucking nasty one.
I like how they were all towards the end though, and that kind of like put up
Yeah.
the hype level a little bit. You know what I mean? It shows the difference of just
Skill.
skill.
hmm Yeah, but how about Ngannou's 20-second knockout?
Oh my lord, that was my hope, man. And we all called it. We all said Ngannou was gonna win that fight.
Yep.
But a couple of us still bet on Rosenstruck because we needed just that gain.
No,
You know?
Rosenstrike came out looking good. The
Oh
first
my
5 seconds
God.
were going his way.
First 5 seconds.
He
That's a
threw-
quarter. That's a quarter of the fight.
Yeah.
He threw one kick, and I bet Gabe and Jaime got so hyped.
Yeah. The first 5 seconds really looked good, and then Ngannou was like, all right, you want to play? Let's fucking go. and then
And then
murdered
he just fucking charged him, dude.
and
Oh,
He
my
missed
God.
he missed his first 3 or 4 punches.
three
It was
or
like
four of them.
4.
Yeah, it was a shit ton of punches that he missed, and then when he just landed that one, and it was off balance too. Watching it, like,
and the crazy
holy
thing
fuck.
is, and the crazy thing is, it looks like he barely nicked him. Like it looks like he barely got the tip of his chin.
Straight up, almost sent that man out in a fucking stretcher. Holy shit!
If anything, that the fact that he missed those 4 punches just makes it more terrifying because it's not like it was a combo of hits. No, it was literally just one hit at the end that took him out.
That's most of his fights. It's just one punch.
Yeah,
I know. It's just like comparing to other fighters where you see that combo going off, they're all combining, and it's that last hit that takes him. No, man. He missed them all and still got him with 1 punch.
I think it's like Ngannou's last 5 fights have totaled like 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
Like across 5.
And I'm just saying now, if one of these heavyweight fighters can't go this weekend, I could see him calling Ngannou up, dude. Not like he used a lot of his energy or anything.
Yeah, he's already on weight. He's definitely not injured.
Oh my God.
Like his hand might hurt a little bit.
Like imagine if
a little bit.
imagine if Overeem can't go and they throw him in there with Walt Harris.
Oh my God. Oh my God, the second death in the Harris family.
But can Francis be close to a title fight?
Yeah, so I mean that's what we were kind of talking about. Like what's next for him?
Yeah.
He is, dude. Like he's ranked number 2.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Hold on. After seeing again what happened in that fight, let's just honor Stipe's chin. Because when they first fought, he took those hits and he did not go down, man.
So a couple of things in the pipeline for him. We have the obvious next 2 fights. Stipe obviously being number 1. Stipe did, however, say that he's more interested in helping out with his firefighting stuff and helping out with the coronavirus than he is fighting right now. So, with Joe Rogan setting up his boy DC on a silver platter and DC saying he's not scared of Ngannou, do they feed DC to him?
Are they trying to kill DC? I would personally love that.
I don't know if he could take him down. That's all DC has. That's all he's gonna try, dude. I don't think he can take him down. And it's not like he could stand there and bang like he did with Stipe.
No,
dude, Ngannou will just fucking murder him.
He'll kill him. Yeah. He'll kill him.
Literally right after that fight in the group text, I'm sorry, but DC is not getting out of that fight alive. He does not have that chin.
Yeah, and to go off of what you said like right before Jaime with Stipe, like he ate those shots from Francis. I mean, I think Joe Rogan said this, or someone said this. Yeah, it was Joe Rogan on his podcast with Brandon Schaub at the last one he had. He said, he had that fight with Francis, and then he went in with DC, and he just like one little knock on the chin, he was out. It's like he was feeling. I think he was still feeling that shit from the last one. Like if
Francis,
when Tony comes back, if he comes back like this year, like end of this year, if he gets dropped with like the first punch, dude, he's gonna be feeling like Gaethje's punches still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it softened him up for sure, and that happens in a lot of fighters. They say when you get knocked out in your next fight, it still carries with you to a certain extent. You know, so that's a good point, Johnny. If DC with that whole DC fight and then the Stipe knockout, you know, where Stipe got knocked out, that could have possibly been a reason why. I mean, DC isn't really known for that knockout power, so that could be it.
Now, and also DC, like we said, I don't think he has the range to take Ngannou down. Like if those two stood next to each other, DC would look like Ngannou's kid. Like
yeah.
How tall is he? He's only like
DC.
I think he's shorter than me.
DC.
Yeah.
He is
5'10".
I think he's like 5'10". Yeah.
Yeah. So 5'10", going up against that fucking monster.
He's 6'4". Yeah. So it's like going against a bigger version of John Jones, and he struggled with John. Like there's no way.
He has the range. I don't think he has the range to take him down. His striking's not there. DC dies in that fight. Would Ngannou want to stay active? Yes, but obviously Ngannou wants that title shot. He's hungry for it. I don't know if he goes up against Stipe though anytime soon, with Stipe more focused on firefighting and public health than.
Yeah.
But
I
who
wonder,
else is there?
especially after this kind of a knockout, depending on
He
how
earned
long
it.
the break is,
Yeah.
could someone possibly like give it to DC versus him for interim, and then the win, kind of similar to what we're doing now for Ferguson versus
I think-
JP?
I think though the way that he would accept DC is because DC is a big name, and,
Mhm.
and even if it's not for the title, he's gonna get paid for that. He's gonna get big money, you know. So it's still kind of that same caliber of fight.
And that'll still cement him for the title
Mhm.
fight. Like if he wins that, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean he should be cemented for a title fight either
Yeah.
way. Like realistically, that man deserves a title.
He went out looking to prove something. Like you don't swing for the hills like that if you don't got something to prove, man.
Hey,
No,
but I
he
give
ate-
Rosen
he
strike
ate-
balls.
He ate some shots from Rose, but he just wasn't enough.
no.
He just ate them and just kept going, and he was just swinging for the hills, man.
No, you need to literally stuff your pad with fucking bricks in order to knock out Ngannou. Prove me wrong. Like, that man needs to be hit with a sledgehammer before he goes down.
During the fight, Vanessa was like, "What the hell? Why is he so big?" I was like, "That's like all he did for his whole life was just mine."
Yeah,
She's
he
like,
was a
"What?"
salt miner.
I was like, "He's a salt miner."
So that I see them doing too, if DC doesn't want to take the fight, because like if Stipe doesn't come back this year, because obviously they're gonna have Ngannou fight again this year.
Who's left for him to fight?
See, the number 3 ranked is Curtis Blades.
Yeah,
No.
that's
He's
what
on
I
a-
was thinking too.
He's
was-
on a 3-fight win streak.
I was
His
thinking
last
Blades
fight
too.
was to Ngannou. So I mean, I think that's like because he won by decision against Willis, and then he has 2 straight knockouts. Well, his
Now-
most recent one was against JDS.
I was
I think
thinking Blades too, but I don't think they waste Blades and Ngannou not being a title fight because they want to build both of those names up because they're both
Yeah.
impressive names with impressive talent. And especially with both of them being so young and all of the upper level of the heavyweight division being so old, they want to build them as the next generation. So
yeah,
I
they
don't think
they don't want to waste their talent right now of the
Exactly.
2 up and coming heavyweights of the future. They want to keep that rivalry kind of building up. They don't want to constantly.
So realistically, what I think they do, just as a smart business decision and to build names, have one of them fight for the title, probably Ngannou after his last show,
It would have to be.
and then maybe
And then-
DC and Blades because
Yeah,
they
that's
both
what I was
have
thinking.
similar skill sets, and then the winner fights for the title again.
But-
So realistically, you're looking at like a Blades and Ngannou for the title when Ngannou.
I like that.
But but DC hasn't. He said after his last fight that he didn't want to fight anyone else unless it was Stipe for the title. So I don't think he'd fight Blades.
I don't think DC deserves that rematch, man. I really don't.
I don't think he does either.
No.
I know he wants it, and he's such a big name, he might get it just by asking for it.
Yeah, and even when
he would have to wait one fight. Like it would probably
Yeah.
still go to.
I mean, there's not much
Yeah.
else, dude. Like, it's Stipe, DC, Francis. That's the top 3. Then you got, the champion, then the top 2. Then you got Blades, JDS, Derek Lewis, Rosenstrick, Alexander Volkov, and then Overeem and Walt Harris. That's your top 10 with the champ. So 9.
I
mean,
think they're
realistically,
they're
that's
I think
probably-
they're hoping for OSP because he did move up to heavyweight. I think they're hoping he works out.
I think he's gonna get smacked.
I think so too, but I think they're kind of hoping that he does, work out on that. I mean, anything could happen, man. At Rumble moved up and he did pretty damn good.
I think Blades' next fight's gonna be against Derek Lewis.
Ooh.
Hi.
That's 2 top 5. And
Is
like I
Derek
said,
Lewis even top 5?
Yeah, he's number
Yeah.
5.
Is he really?
He
Didn't
was
he lose his last like 3?
No, I don't think last 3.
He
I think-
definitely lost 2 of his last 3.
Maybe 2, but I don't think 3. It's not much of a difference.
That man does not deserve a top 5 spot. Derek Lewis is floating by on memes alone.
Yeah.
he's on a 2-fight win streak.
Derek Lewis memed his way to a title shot where he got molested by DC and then immediately has gone down the shitter. Derek
Yeah, then
Lewis.
No, he just lost one, and then he's on a 2-win streak.
Yeah.
So
He
since
lost.
that fight,
So
he's won.
he lost to DC, then he lost to JDS,
Mhm.
and then JDS got knocked out by Curtis Blades, and then he beat Ivanov,
Ivanov.
and he beat Latifi, who aren't. I don't even think they're ranked.
So still
But
okay.
he's number 5 right now, though. That's the thing.
My opinion on Derek Lewis. I love Derek Lewis. Every time he's in the octagon, I'm always rooting for him. He's not there.
Balls
The man does not have the cardio. He doesn't have the cardio to stand in the top 10. He literally can swing and bang for maybe a half a round and then gets by on lucky last second knockouts. He just doesn't he's got a lot of knockout power because he's huge, but he does not have the technical ability. He doesn't have the cardio. He's not there for the division. That man does not deserve another title shot anytime soon or to even be in the top 10, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's number 5. There's not many heavyweights, dude. I don't see because if DC doesn't want to fight, that's up to him. But let's say he does fight, it's pretty much just him, Francis, and Blades, and then
Stipe.
Yeah, Stipe, and then it's JDS who
just got killed by Blades. Yeah.
So,
But the reason why Lewis would is because of his name, though, Brad.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a lot of star power just because of his post-fight interviews. That's literally how he got the title shot.
Unless
2 post-fight interviews.
Unless John Jones moves up.
Unless John Jones moves up, which I don't think he's going to.
Or
Hey, Gabe,
or Brock Lesnar comes back.
I saw that, Gabe. Why are you shaking your head? Huh? You don't think he would do anything in heavyweight?
He has to at least fight in his own division and not get suspended for stupid shit.
Yeah.
Well, he just had 4 straight fights without getting suspended, right? And he's still not suspended, bitch.
And he didn't lose. Pussy.
Okay, so hold on. Why would John Jones move up to heavyweight? The man's had no problem making weight at 210. Why would he fight somebody who's 55 pounds heavier
Because
than
they're
him?
fanboys, that's why.
Because he can take him out. Maybe. No, you want to know why? Because I want to see him versus Ngannou. That's literally why. I just want to see that. I just want to see it.
But why would he do that? Why would he risk his damn near perfect record?
Like I said, fanboy.
I could see. He's just fucking rolling through this division.
Yeah.
No, there's
But
nobody
I
light heavy.
I think what's more likely is Adesanya moves up to fight him. I think that's
more likely to me. That's more likely to me that Adesanya makes the 15-pound jump to go fight him, or 25-pound jump. It's more likely to me that Adesanya makes that jump than John Jones makes a literal 55-pound jump to fight somebody way bigger than him.
Mm-hmm.
But Izzy has said he wants to wait for that in the future. He's like, John's not going anywhere. He'll be there later. He's smart, bro. He's not an idiot. He wants to wait till John gets older.
He's not. Izzy's not ready. I don't think he could beat John Jones right now.
I know, and he's waiting for John to get older, to get slower. He's not an idiot, dude. He knows what he's doing.
But yeah, as far as heavyweights, if Stipe's not fighting and DC turns down, the next best thing is just to do Francis versus Blades 2.
I don't like that though. I don't like snubbing him against another big name. I really don't like them building up 2 stars just to have a fight night card headlined by them.
There's just no one else though.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying they need to do.
Because especially if Stipe doesn't want to come back, and if DC's I only want Stipe.
Yeah, well, if fucking DC has a bug up his ass and only wants to fight Stipe, well, tough titty. Stipe is gonna fight fucking Ngannou because Ngannou deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Curtis Blades is going to fight the winner, and you can suck a dick. You can fight for that fucking belt when you're in your 60s then.
100%. 100% agree with that.
Yep.
Now, will that happen? Probably not, because Dana White likes money. But
that's the thing. If DC is openly saying, I will not fight Ngannou, I want to fight only Stipe, to me, either there's 2 options. 2 things can come from that. Either they have to offer him a shit ton more money to do that and make it an interim title fight, so that Stipe can come back and then they'll have a fight to unify the belt, or everyone's gonna be like, "Yo, DC, why are you running from Ngannou?" You know what I mean? It could go either way.
true.
If he's so reluctant to fight him, people are gonna start noticing, like, why are you so reluctant? Why are you backing out? Why are you running away? Why don't you go? Because I noticed during the fight on Saturday when Joe Rogan and oh my god, I can't remember the other guy's name,
Anik? No, Anik wasn't there.
and the commentator, the other one.
I don't remember his name either.
Well, when he was like, they're talking to DC about it, and DC, like, before he would respond, he would kind of take a pause. He'd be like, oh, come on, you know I'm not scared of that, or whatever he was saying, but he would pause, man. Like, that's not, he didn't sound so sure there. You know what I mean?
Well, so that's the problem with having people who are still active in the fight game calling fights, is because not only do they have to think about calling fights for people who are in their own division who may possibly go, and it was Anik, I'm pretty sure, people who are in their own division who are possibly set to fight them next, and then also still having to worry about their own brand as a fighter. DC is at the end of his career, and really, I really like DC as a commentator. Like, I think he's got a great career as a commentator after his fight career ends.
Yeah.
But that is the problem with it. But at the same time, does DC risk putting his foot in his own mouth by saying, I'm not scared to fight Ngannou, and then turning down a fight against Ngannou? I don't think that happens.
Yeah.
All right, should we?
Yeah, moving on to the next title, or the first title fight of the night. We got Henry Cejudo and Dominic Cruz. What a crazy fight. What a crazy fight. I think Cejudo looked better than ever in that fight, to be honest.
Yeah, I was pretty upset just how it went down. I mean, he put on a clinic, and then stunned with that kick, because Dominic Cruz's head was just so low.
Yeah.
That I think it was a knee, if I'm correct.
It was a knee, yeah.
And just lights out. I know where I could see where he was complaining about too early of a stoppage. That was good 9 shots.
Yeah.
Unblocked. And I know you're trying to get up, but you gotta make an effort to put that hand up, especially with Herb Dean there. He's gonna get it right every time. And I agree with the stoppage.
I thought it was late.
9 blows. It
Yeah,
could have been, yeah.
In the replay, like, even when at first it looked debatable, and then me and Gabe saw the replay, when he fell to the floor and was like, looked like right before he stood up, but his head was literally like he was in the crouching position. His head, as he was getting hit, was bouncing off the mat like 4 different times. Like, are you serious? Like, you're really gonna come say you weren't done? Your head was bouncing off the floor like 4 or 5 different times, man. He used you as a freaking basketball, just dribbling your head, man.
I will say fighters will always say that they didn't.
It was exactly.
Yeah. Always, like, even if it doesn't make sense, like, they're always gonna say that.
Yeah.
You could
did you see
tap
what
out
Cruz?
and they'd say it wasn't a good stoppage.
Did you see what Cruz said though about the refs, that they reeked of drugs and booze or whatever?
Yeah, he did say that he smelled like cigarettes and booze. Yeah.
I don't think that was Herb Dean, though, was it? It was someone else.
No, it wasn't
Herb
Herb
Dean.
Dean.
No.
Someone else.
Hold on, who was it?
Herb Dean is the best ref, in my opinion, though.
I think they
100%.
kept it going.
Dean is,
Oh, yeah. I think they kept it going because he was making rotation movement. So he was staying somewhat active. He wasn't just limp. But without blocking those shots, that's going to get called.
It was
what do you,
Peterson. That was the ref.
What do you think of that? What do you guys think of that post-game speech? Post-fight speech?
The one we missed?
So, Cejudo.
You've had 3 days to watch it.
So you mean Cejudo's retirement speech?
Yes.
Okay, so I do have mixed opinions on it. Right when it happened, I openly said in 6 months Cejudo's going to be back. Now, I do believe that maybe he is going to make a comeback, but then when I saw it, I was like, there's no way he's going to be gone from the fight game. He looked better than ever. He's on top right now. He actually is Triple C. He holds 3 belts. I still think the 125 is held by him, even though technically he shouldn't have it. But nobody came to claim it.
Yeah, that's the one where Benavidez missed weight.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they didn't count.
So technically he holds, 3 championship fucking awards with the Olympic gold medal. Like, I mean, he is a savage. and legitimately looked amazing. I actually said too, if Cejudo would just shut his fucking mouth, he would be one of my favorite fighters on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he comes out and retires. And I said, no, there's no fucking way he's going to be back. He likes the limelight too much. Then I watched a post-fight interview, and he made a very good point. He did retire from wrestling extremely early in his career. And he sounded very genuine when he was talking about his retirement, saying, I'm done. I just want to start a family. I don't want to deal with all this anymore. He was saying, like, it's a lot of stress coming out. Like, he talked about the pillow thing where he came out and like kicked the heads of the pillows of fucking Mighty Mouse and Cruz and TJ, and he was like, that's all an act I have to put on for you guys. He's like, that's me. I have to show up. I have to come out here and I have to do this because that's what people expect of me, is to be cringy. So he's like, this is the brand I've built for myself. It's a lot of an act to keep up all the time. And it's tough. I just want to be.
But that's like, yeah. But that's what I didn't like when he said that, because he was saying like, I have to, you know, I love him, you know, as a fighter. Like, he's amazing to watch, man. And I was really excited when he made that run after losing to Mighty Mouse the first time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He fought his way back. He clawed his way back. And now for him to like, well, I have to do all this. Is what you expected me, bro. That was all you. You didn't have to. You didn't have to be a sellout.
It is
and
expected now.
It is.
I know, but that's the thing. I don't like that. I personally don't like that.
Yeah, no
and that's
one
how
likes
I
it,
feel.
but
Yeah,
but it
that's
has
how
to be
I
done.
feel.
Do you
That's
think
how
if,
I feel.
do you think if Colby Covington came out and said,
Yep.
I'm voting for Joe Biden and I'm going to run with Joe Biden now, that he wouldn't completely ruin his reputation? He's literally built. I've seen Colby Covington. I hate his guts when he's on camera, but I've seen conversations where people film him talking to like up and coming fighters who like come up to him and ask for advice. The dude is very down to earth, very genuine, and he's very hardworking for what he does. Do I like him as a fighter? No, because I think that his comments are over the top and he's a piece of shit. But he is very, very genuine off camera. And yes, I do believe to a certain extent he is putting on an act. Cejudo as well. There's no way he's that fucking cringy in real life.
Yeah, and that's
Putting
the thing.
on
Like,
an act. It's his brand.
to me, that kind of like, okay, back then it was attitude, but they did it. Okay, obviously you talk shit, you do that to hype up a fight. That's how they used to do it back then, to a certain extent. In comes Connor, and then that's how he literally got his title fight, just doing all that, and everybody started putting on an act. And for all the shit they talk about WWE, I watched WWE as a little kid. This is how I'm seeing it, which is you're basically talking shit about WWE when you guys are all coming back in here and playing an act, being someone you're not. It's like, bro, I understand you're trying to hype up a fight, trying to cause that drama with your opponent, but it's they're getting over the top. And Colby's another example of how it doesn't always work for everybody.
No, and it's not that it works for Colby Covington. He's not trying to make it work. He's trying to be the fighter that people hate, because people need that. It's a role that he's filling. And Cejudo's the king of cringe. It's a role that he's filling.
I was gonna say I get where you're coming from. The whole sellout thing is annoying, but to compare it to WWE is only giving half credit to it, because the difference between WWE and UFC is, sure, the smack talk off stage, you know, it gets riles people up. It's fake. It's Colby Covington, you know, saying all these ridiculous things doesn't mean him. Same with Cejudo. But when they're in the octagon, there is no planned outcome. They are literally going to beat the shit out of each other to the end. So it is more genuine. Yeah, sure, there's a reason now I want to watch this fight. They hate each other. I want to watch it. It works. Brad just said it. He hates Colby Covington. I hate him too, for different reasons. For similar reasons. We hate that he's a sellout. Boom, right then and there. His job worked. And yeah, Conor McGregor changed the game with that aspect. But it fucking works, dude.
But that's why people buy pay-per-views that Colby Covington's on and buy tickets to go see him. He knows that he can make a shit ton of money for himself and the organization because people want to watch him get knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
People buy tickets just to watch Colby, just on the off chance that Colby Covington might die in the octagon. People are going to pay to watch that fight. Same thing with Cejudo. Like, he's cringy. That's why I follow him. I follow him on Instagram because I follow all the fighters on Instagram. But that's one of the reasons that I like following him on Instagram, is to see what fucking cringy shit is Cejudo going to do next. It's a brand that he's got to build. And yeah, it's stressful to do 24/7. That's got to be tough. I understand that he wants to retire and stop doing that all the time. It's like a lot of, even just to take it not even in the fight world. One of the people that I was watching was, who the fuck's that streamer? Dr. Disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
He had a show on, what was it, G4 back in the day, where he did basically the Dr. Disrespect stream, but in a condensed like 5-minute thing. And people fucking hated it because it was Dr. Disrespect turned up to 11. Like, where it was just obnoxious and over the top. But when he became just himself doing that act, like lower paced, slower speed, built over a long period of time, like his 8-hour stream, people loved it. And I think that's what people are going to do for Cejudo too, is if he becomes an announcer, becomes, you know, a promoter somehow in the organization over time, but still keeps like a slight amount of that cringy aspect, but he doesn't have to turn it up to 11 all the fucking time to promote his fights and promote himself. I think people are really going to like Cejudo.
No, I agree with that. It's just like, I hate how he said, well, I have to. It's like, you know, I understand you sell tickets. I understand that 100%. This is how you get people to sell tickets. But if you're just a great fighter and, you know, and you do the bare minimum with that, you're also going to sell. There's a lot of dedicated fight fans who are in it for the fighters, for the fighting, for the actual sport of MMA. And to me, I mean, look at GSP. If he was right now just starting, he wouldn't be as big as he was because he wasn't that loud, obnoxious. He's more like a Khabib, where he's more quiet. He's more respectful. He respects the sport and the art of it. And that's where I feel like a lot of fighters, they start off and they see how, okay, I understand I have to put up to a certain point and act, right? But they get too carried away with it. And that also, it like Henry said, it drains him, you know? That can cause a lot of shit where it's like, you know, I'm tired of this. I don't want to keep doing this. Where a lot of low-key fighters, where they don't have that aspiration, like, okay, I know I'm not going to get all the way to the top. They don't have to worry about it because they're not being put on the spotlight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but dude, it's everything. It's in all sports. Like, even back then when like Tio was doing it, man, with his crazy celebrations, like
Yeah, it's his brand. It's him.
It's what people do to get paid.
No,
whether you
I mean,
want it to be or not.
But that's how T.O. is though. Like, there's different. T.O., he was a diva. There's people that are showmen that are like that. But you like Kobe Covington is not. That is a whole act.
Wait, wouldn't you argue that?
But that's his brand though.
Also, show is like a good showman.
That's his brand though. It's
But-
like, what
but
if
one-
we came out and our entire next episode was about My Little Pony and we just completely changed it from sports? This is
No,
our
but-
brand. Sports is us. Like, that's how he built his name. Like,
But
just being
yeah,
too
but
cringe.
it's one's being authentic and one is being fake and putting on an act. That's the difference.
I don't
T.O.
think
is-
it's putting on an act. I don't think it is. I think it's amplifying what he normally does. It's turning everything up to 11.
Yeah,
It's-
possibly.
It's not him necessarily being anything but what he is. It's just him being overly dramatic about all of it,
No,
which
yeah,
can
that's
be draining.
and that's what I have said. Like, you know, if you do the bare minimum, or even like they overdo it. Like, that's what I also said. If they overdo it, obviously, you know, that's gonna happen.
It just
I
sells
just-
tickets, dude.
Yeah.
I know it. I know.
It,
but
it like look at like McGregor was like probably the first one to come out and, you know, just say a bunch of crazy shit.
and get a title for it because
Gabe
Chael Sonnen,
came
Wait,
out.
I was gonna say Chael Sonnen was
yeah.
very underspoken, very, very quiet. And then when he came out and started being obnoxious and shit talking, that was when he blew up.
Yeah.
You can't just be a good fighter anymore. You also have to have a brand.
Yeah. Look at, and like I've said, like there's like plenty of like when they do the press conferences, you know, with all the fighters. You see Connor like when he was first started, like, you know, just saying more shit, and like he come out with his like full suits and everything. And then like a couple press conferences later, you'll see other fighters come out with like in like suits just like him, and you know, just to like kind of copy that. It's just like a way to, you know, I mean, look at him. He's like the highest paid UFC fighter right now. Still.
No, I know. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, me personally, I just don't like that.
Well, yeah, no one does. I mean, it just draws your attention to it because you don't like that person or you just have strong emotions. Do we want to move on to the final one?
Ferguson and Gaethje. Holy shit! The fight nobody saw coming.
I saw that cut. Well, I didn't.
Yeah,
I called
you
Gaethje.
bet on it.
I called Gaethje would win, though. Check the podcast. I was right.
You
I
didn't.
waited 8 years.
You did not actually, sir.
I did. I said
did
I
not.
don't want Ferguson to win. I'm going with Gaethje.
No, you
Saying I
didn't.
don't want Ferguson to win is not calling Gaethje as the winner.
I say it.
Go,
Check
go,
it.
go-
Check
yeah,
it.
check
Go
it.
back.
Go watch it back. It's you said when we're doing the picture, like, yeah, I got this on Gaethje. And you're like, I'm hoping he wins. And then when we're actually making our predictions for each fight, you're like, I don't want to go Tony, man, but yeah, he's probably gonna win. And that's
I
exactly
Even when we
what
were
you said.
watching it,
We'll
when we
see.
were watching it, you're like, yeah, all I have left is a Gaethje, and he ain't winning it.
I never said. How would you know? You were fucking drunk, dude.
No, I wasn't.
Guess who?
Not at that point.
I've waited 8 years to see that fucking.
Yeah, no, I
race.
get you were rooting for it.
And I was rooting for it. I had a high chance. I 100% had most likely I knew Ferguson was gonna win, but I wanted Gaethje to win, and that's who I was rooting for.
That's not
and I
calling
picked-
That's,
it.
that's not calling it.
And
That's
and
not
I
calling it.
hold
You
on.
didn't pick it. You put
I
money
picked
on it.
it. I
did?
picked it. I
So
picked
Gabe
it.
picked it too then, because Gabe picked both of them. Is that what
No,
you're saying?
I actually picked him though. I
No, you
picked him.
didn't. Go
I'll
watch
go
it
back and watch it.
Go
I'll
watch
go
it
back
back.
and watch it.
Yep.
All right. I picked him. I swear. But
Oh.
dude, that was more satisfying. Watch him get his ass kicked for 25 minutes, and him
My-
getting knocked.
My favorite post is, or my favorite thing is one of my buddies that I used to go to the gym with in our group chat. He said, Tony Ferguson looks like he just fought Tony Ferguson.
I
Dude,
will say, dude, his chin. I respect Tony, dude. That
Holy
chin, holy
shit.
fuck.
Yeah, because you could hear, like, that was really why I liked not having the crowd there for this fight in particular, is you could hear how much power Gaethje was putting behind every shot. Every single one of those was fucking echoing in that arena.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Gaethje was trying to take his head off with every shot. His corner even told him, stop trying to take his fucking head off. Just
Yeah.
land your shot.
And that
he
was after
just-
the first round. That was
Yeah.
after the first.
And he just went out and said, fuck it. I'm going to try and take his head off with every shot. For 5 straight rounds, he kept that up.
Oh my God.
Now, what do you guys think of the stoppage?
I loved it. I think it was fine. It was a good stoppage because literally 5 seconds right before they stopped it, he took a big punch and he was shaking his head. Like he was just not all there. Like he was rocked. He shook his head like 2 different times, Tony did. And kind of to wake himself up. And I felt like, ooh, even at me at that point, I felt bad for him. And was like, nah, they got to stop this.
I could see it. I just felt like with this kind of fight, you got to do it justice and let it go. If he was at least on the ground after that punch, then yes, I could see that. But I could definitely see it. I mean, the punishment he endured, I'm not debating that. Just Ferguson's a different animal that I think he's earned a right to maybe try to see if he can get down to the ground, if he can come back or anything. But Gaethje won it. I mean, there's no other question about it. I mean, whether it went 30 seconds more,
Gabe,
I mean,
Gabe, he was dead at that point. There was no way of him at that point,
I
no.
thought it was a good stoppage.
Yeah.
Only for the reason, I completely see where everyone's coming from and where Tony himself is coming from too, where he was like, let me die in the octagon. I completely get that. And he was not out when they stopped the fight, but the referee's main goal and their main job is to protect the fighters. And at that point, he had to protect Tony Ferguson from Tony Ferguson.
yeah.
That man was going to get some severe brain trauma. That being said, it was only another minute and a half left in the fight.
Yeah.
But he was taking a lot of unanswered shots and was getting beat the fuck up for 4.5 rounds. At that point, you should probably stop the fight just for his own safety.
It left him with a broken eye socket.
Yeah, broken orbital bone. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that happens pretty often. I mean, Rachel Ostovich's husband did that to her, and she
Yeah,
fought
but
fucking 4 weeks later. But
but he also suffered even more brain trauma from that fight, obviously. But
which
like
Tony,
Gabe saying like, oh, he could have, like, no, dude, go back and watch that fight, man. He was literally just standing there shaking his head. Like,
Yeah,
you're at
I'm
that
not
point,
saying
you're
it's a
just
definite though. I'm not saying it was like a definite bad call. In most stoppages, there's going to be a bit of a gray area. I know it's hard for you to understand that because you're always black and white, but there are gray areas. And like, you are right. He took a nasty unanswered punch right after shaking his head twice. Like, it was a correct call. I'm just saying that with Ferguson's track record, with 1 minute left and the title on the line, I know he would have wanted to keep going, and I think it would have been justified.
yeah. But
Yeah.
his track record though did not prepare. This was a absolutely worst thing he's ever taken. Like, this has been the worst beating he has ever taken in his career. So it's not to the extent of his past. He has never taken a beating of this magnitude.
but that's
So
the
you
same time. Like every time a Nate Diaz fight gets called, like Tony Ferguson is too tough for his own good. Same thing with Nate Diaz, where they're both like, the refs need to step in at that point, because especially somebody like Tony Ferguson, who has a history of mental illness that TBIs can affect. Like, the dude was literally just like dealing with medication problems, and I want to say he was put in a psych unit, almost had his kid taken away from him because of a psychological breakdown. Like, he's not the person that should be taking an extra minute and a half of punches to the head at that level after already taking 23 minutes of punches to the head at that level. Like, I get it. He could have survived the next minute and a half. He could have, for sure. But realistically, it would not be safe for him.
Yeah, he's like bringing up Nate Diaz. There are certain fighters where you not only have to protect them against other fighters, but against themselves. You know, they have their way about how, I'm here, I'm not gonna give up. Just leave me here. If I die, I die. You know.
You know what it reminded me of? When I watched those videos of like crackheads getting in a fight and they get like hit in the head and they start shaking their head.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, at the end when he was shaking his head. I thought he was gonna turn it around when he dropped Gaethje with that uppercut.
Was that in like the end of the second?
yeah,
I think it was second, maybe third.
I had
it
a
was
buddy.
second though.
I had a buddy who texted me about that because he's a huge Tony Ferguson dick rider. And he was like, yeah, Tony Ferguson got beat up, but Tony Ferguson almost ended the fight if he had a few more seconds. It's like, Tony Ferguson got fucking killed. You shut your mouth. Like, just because he landed one good shot doesn't mean he wins the fight. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah,
Tony Ferguson died in the octagon that night.
That was the only knockdown of the fight, though, right?
For him.
Yeah.
No, I think on both sides. I don't think Tony got dropped.
Yeah, he did. He got dropped like 2 times towards the end. Yeah, he did.
I think the stoppage was technically a knockdown.
Yeah, it's just the stoppage. He didn't drop him.
I'm pretty sure he dropped him.
But still, even then, like, okay,
wrong,
a lucky shot at the end of a round doesn't constitute an entire fight.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson got okay, so if we consider the last 2 seconds of that round where he knocked Gaethje down, 2 seconds out of a total of 23 and a half minutes, that's what, 0.5% of the fight Tony Ferguson was winning? You don't get to say Tony Ferguson might have won that fight based on 0.5 second of the fight. I don't care who you are. You're wrong.
I thought he was going to, like, you know, like fighters, like if they get a knockdown, like towards the end of a round, or that even a takedown, like maybe a submission attempt, like they could ride that momentum. I thought he was going to do that, but then he just came out. It was just more of the same.
Yeah. Now that could have won him the round for sure. Like, sometimes the very last thing that happens in the round wins fighters the round for sure. Yeah, I could see somebody saying that, Tony Ferguson won that round. But Tony Ferguson also lost 4 other rounds. Tony Ferguson 100% lost that fight, and anybody who says that he didn't is wrong.
So we know the outcome is going to be Gaethje versus Khabib. Early thoughts and kind of predictions on that?
Before we get to that, I do want to say that fight reminded me of Max Holloway, Brian Ortega.
Yeah, too tough for his own good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that fight, he was getting picked apart that whole
That was the
fight.
doctors had to stop that in the 4th round. At
Yeah.
before the 5th round started, the doctors came in and checked out Ortega and said no more because he took like 150 shots to the head in the 4th round. Too tough for his own good.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, it was just like the same thing. Like he took a bunch of big shots, just like Tony did this fight.
I thought the same exact thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Early predictions on Habib Gaethje. I don't know. I don't know if Gaethje can handle Habib's takedowns the way that Tony could. Because
I don't know.
Tony's got a funky ground game that could be tough for Habib to deal with. That's a lot of those 10th Planet guys are just weird and unorthodox. But
I think
standard on the ground.
I think that's more of when he gets taken down. Tony has an arsenal of things he can do down there. I don't know about his defense though. Justin is a world class wrestler. Let's not forget. He just never uses it in his professional fights. This guy was a great college wrestler, man. He was amazing, and not a lot of people know that. But I think I'm not saying it's anywhere near Habib's, but he has that level of wrestling where it can be a factor.
That's the thing is if you fight Habib, you are going to get taken down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to get to the ground, and he's going to maul you.
I would even say on the early rounds, he's going to try to tire him out.
Unless he tries to stand. Khabib tries to stand with him.
Why would he?
Kind of like he did with Conor. Like
Conor.
He tried standing with him for the first couple minutes before he finally took him down. Then he's like, yeah, fuck this.
But at the same time, though, Habib stood and fought with Conor on the feet and almost dropped Conor on the feet. So Habib's stand-up is pretty damn good. Obviously, it's not world-class, best in the world.
I mean, I like Conor, but Conor's striking to Gaethje's.
It's not that much of a difference. Don't give me that.
More power. No. I'm saying Gaethje's better.
Okay. I was like,
I said that's why I put Conor down here and Gaethje up here.
Yeah.
It would definitely depend on what route Gaethje goes with. If he's going to leave his head open and go wild like previous fights, or if he's going to be, strategic as he was in the Tony fight.
But how many people has Habib beaten that are world-class grapplers and world-class strikers?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's proven time and time again that he can rough up literally anyone in literally any skill set.
No, yeah. That makes perfect sense, like he has shown in the past where he can destroy either one or a competitor that's adequate at both. It just really comes down to, we didn't really know how many people really thought that Justin was going to beat Tony Ferguson. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. Maybe Habib does get caught by a punch or something. When Johnny was talking about the striking difference with Conor, Justin has a lot more power.
Yeah.
All it could take, I'm not saying Habib has a weak chin or nothing, but what if he does get caught? What if he does get rocked?
And saying Gaethje has more power is pretty impressive because he has some power, dude.
Yeah. Conor's jab is no joke.
I would definitely rather see Gaethje hold the belt than Ferguson, though.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
But really, I think the only threat to Habib, even though he just got destroyed by Gaethje, I still think Tony Ferguson is the only real threat to Habib in the 155 division.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I kind of agree. Just like Brad's been saying, Khabib will take you down.
Yeah,
it's inevitable, and he tires you out. So the constant pressure is going to be different than Ferguson. Ferguson was going to try to outpressure you standing up, and Gaethje just overpowered that. Khabib is now going to lay on you and do ground and pound until your face is bloody and you're breathing out of your mouth.
And if you want to talk about power too, Habib just molested Dustin Poirier.
Oh no, yeah. Habib has power too. I'm not denying that. Hell no. Hell no.
He held Dustin Poirier down and fucked him. Like he did naughty things to Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier's got some of the most impressive power in the 155 division.
You need to put the Pornhub community tab on there before the fight or what?
That's exactly what you have to do. Yeah, he did gross things to him. And I do think that Gaethje has that kind of power as well, but look what Khabib did to that power.
It's an interesting fight, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. But that's why I think that Ferguson's the only real threat to Khabib, even though that fight is literally cursed and may never happen now. But it's because he's funky. And I don't think Khabib's ever really dealt with somebody as funky as Ferguson. Like those 10th Planet guys, they're fucking weird. I've rolled with one time. They're fucking odd. Like they do weird shit all the time that's unorthodox and not what you expect. And I think that would be the only thing that would shock Khabib, because that fight would be a majority on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ferguson could pose some serious threats to Khabib on the ground. But that fight's never going to happen now. So what's the point in talking about it?
Any final thoughts on that fight, Johnny?
Gaethje and Khabib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Khabib wins that fight. I mean, if Gaethje could keep it standing, like maybe he just works on his takedown defense and avoids the ground at all costs, and just clips him. Like I think he can win that way. But if it gets to the ground, then I think Khabib's gonna win it.
I still think though you could work on nothing but takedown defense for your entire fight camp going into the fight against Khabib, and I still think you're gonna get taken down.
Oh yeah.
He makes it look so effortlessly.
But that's the thing, though. I feel like when you're not an experienced wrestler and you're working on takedown defense, you're only going to get so far. And when you're a world-class wrestler and you're working on that, that's going to result in it's going to be different results. But I'm not saying it's going to work or anything, because, I mean, Khabib wrestles with DC, dude. Like, I'm not going to, that's a different animal.
What is the extent to Gaethje's pedigree in wrestling? You just said college, right? What did he do after that?
He did well. I mean, after college, there's Olympics, but he's been wrestling since he was 4, so he has experience. After college, he just went straight to MMA. He started striking a lot more, and in his professional fights, he hasn't used his wrestling.
But Khabib wrestled a bear when he was like 8, and has been using that ever since.
Yeah,
no, I know.
I'm not disregarding Gaethje's wrestling, but I mean, you keep saying world class working on it. I mean, Khabib is literally world class at ground game. So
no, yeah, I'm not denying that either, 100%. I'm just saying, like, we just don't talk about that because Gaethje never uses it. But if he does want to stand any hope, he's gonna have to use it this fight.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but. Yeah, and Khabib has fought a lot of good grapplers though, and
like I said, dude, the guy wrestles with fucking DC, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So which moves us to where the lightweight division stands after the Khabib Gaethje. What's the fight going to be simultaneously going on to be the next fight for the victor at that fight?
They're going to bring McGregor in. McGregor's going to fight somebody for a title shot. Maybe McGregor and Ferguson might be the next one.
I was thinking Ferguson versus McGregor.
That's actually a good fight that I'd like to see. Would be honestly pretty star-studded for both of them. Like it's 2 really, really big names. And winner fights winner of Khabib Gaethje.
Red panties night.
Red panty night, yeah, exactly.
Dude, I want to see Alexander Volkanovski move up
to 155.
Yeah,
I think he's got to defend the 145 belt first.
Yeah, like once he does that, I want to see him move up.
Maybe like a year and a half from now.
They're talking about the rematch with him and Max, so maybe after that, the result.
Yeah, I think you give. Down. I think you do Max versus Khabib first.
I was going to say, do you throw the rematch right at them? I don't think you do.
No. Yeah, because Max deserves a rematch. You don't just – no,
Why?
There's no question.
Why?
What do you mean,
why does Max deserve a rematch?
He's on a 2-fight losing streak.
Yeah, why does Max deserve a rematch?
Who else did he? Yeah, but the other one wasn't for a
wasn't in
title.
his-
It was
yeah,
for a
it was.
title.
It was
It
at
was for a title.
135.
It wasn't in
yeah.
his
Yeah,
division.
but it wasn't in his division. He moved up for that.
It don't
I
matter.
agree with.
Doesn't
I agree
matter.
with Hammett for this one.
I don't think he deserves a fight.
You
right
ran
away.
the featherweight for so long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So
where's
did
Tyron
Demetrius
Tyron
Johnson,
Woodley.
and Demetrius Johnson ran 125 for so long, and they threw him away like yesterday's fucking trash.
Yeah,
Longer than
Tyron Woodley.
fucking
Tyron Woodley
ran-
deserved
He did. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he didn't. Tyron Woodley
Don't-
did too.
Don't
And that's
use
why
past
they're-
mistakes for future ones.
No, and that's why
Yeah.
they're not. They never do that.
Okay, Tyron Woodley. That's a separate example. You want to know why? Because they don't like Tyron Woodley. That's
No, if-
where it negates
So what?
everything.
When
If
have
you
they done
lose,
it?
you
When
have to
they
claw
ever
your
done
way
it?
back. If you lose,
Yeah.
you have to claw your way back, and you have to at least run through one other fighter in the top level of your division in order to win a title shot. You do not just get handed another title shot just based on your name alone.
If that's the case, then Connor should have already got one.
Exactly.
Connor's never defended his belt. He's never once defended his belt.
It's not
Never.
about name. It's about the record in the division.
So do they just throw DC to Stipe again? Is that what happens?
Yeah,
No!
you just said
Stipe
earlier
too.
he didn't deserve one, and he was running through that
Okay,
division.
no, he wasn't. Who was the who had the longest, who had the most wins in for title defense?
Demetrius
Stipe did.
Johnson, and they
Stipe, hold on, a heavyweight, and Stipe did. He lost the belt to DC. What happened? They didn't give him an immediate rematch. That's why he held out. Because he was pissed off about that. He deserved that too.
Yeah, and they're
So
not
let him be
going
pissed
to.
off.
Yeah.
Let him be salty. Max Holloway's not going to be salty if you throw him a top 5 contender.
No, he won't. He won't. But he deserves a rematch. 100%. What do you mean? Why?
You have to claw your way back.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that you should be handed something based on your past achievements. That's a fucking.
If you were a long dominating presence at champion and you lose,
they
right?
trade you to ONE FC. That's what happens.
Well,
they trade you to
that
ONE
was
FC.
Demetrius. That was the one. That was Demetrius.
Yeah,
that was
they-
a dying division, man.
Okay,
That's
so they
why
trade.
they did it.
They trade Max Holloway away to get Gary Tonin in the UFC. That's
Oh
what
my
happened.
gosh,
Yeah,
shut
Max
up,
Holloway's gonna
dude.
fight for one, and we get Gary.
Shut up. No, dude, Max deserves it. Who else is that division? Tell me, who else?
Who else
In the
is in that
145
division?
No, who else is gonna fight for that? Zabit can't go
Yeah.
all 5 rounds. No, he cannot go 5 rounds. He get gassed after 3.
I say Zabit deserves it more than Max Holloway does at this point.
Oh my
Zabit's on a
God.
Zabit's on a winning streak, and Max Holloway is on a losing streak.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think so.
Hi, man.
Is that-
I was on your
if-
side and I
if-
fully
if-
support you, but
if-
RIP headphone users.
If you lose, if you're a champion, you lose, dude. You don't get another shot right off the bat. I don't
I
care
do
how
agree
long you
that I
hold
like
it for.
Now,
I don't
I-
care how long you hold it for.
I do say if he wins one fight,
Yeah.
fight at 145, he deserves a title shot.
Yeah.
If he wins one more fight, he gets a shot at the
So-
belt again. For
But
sure.
you said claw your way back. Clawing your way back is one fight. Really? What's the difference?
I'm not saying you have to run through the gauntlet and start at the bottom. I'm just
Yeah.
saying you have to at least put in some work and not
Yeah.
just be handed another title
Because
shot.
yeah, and then you got these other guys that are on win streaks against top fighters, and then you're
Yeah,
like,
but he
nah,
wasn't
fuck you.
finished. He wasn't finished. It was a decision, all right? So I mean, it's not like it was like such a destruction where
He
it
did
was
get
clear.
picked apart though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but leg kicks.
He did
It's
get
not
picked
like-
apart.
Leg kicks slowed him down. That was literally this whole plan was I'm
That's
just gonna leg kick.
fighting.
That's
so
No,
what?
I know, but
That's
it's not
how
like he.
Usman did it against Woodley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? If leg kicks slowed him down, like yeah, he lost the fight because
so
he wasn't.
so
putting
his
that
opponent
personal.
stuck to the game plan, and that's his fault.
No, but you guys are saying like it was an absolute destruction. Literally,
He did get picked apart.
the only aspect where he was picked apart was his leg kicks. That's the only thing. The only thing.
No,
Literally
no.
So and
leg
he
kicks
lost
did
the
lead-
fight because of it.
The leg kicks
I'm
led
not.
to being
Yeah, he
picked apart
lost, but
facially as well.
he didn't. It was not like it was like a complete and utter destruction where he's like, "Why is he there?" No,
It wasn't like every single round was 10-8, but he still decisively lost that fight.
Pretty sure he lost all rounds.
The reason why I like the winning the one more fight to get back to the title is because then you create cards where it's the title fight, and within that same card you have that fight, and then in the presser they're like, I should be up there in the main stage. It fuels the card, man. It is nice to have
Okay.
that.
Can I just
It's
say
also-
I don't like I'm looking at the rankings. I don't like seeing Brian Ortega as number 2.
Why is he
I don't
still
like
there?
that either.
He shouldn't
I
even
don't
be
like that
top
either.
5.
He hasn't fought
Yeah.
since that Max card.
Yeah,
So
I don't like that either.
They should bump him down. They should bump him out. And then it's
Now-
Alexander Volkanovski, Max, Ortega, Zabit, the Korean Zombie, and Yair Rodriguez as the top
Yeah,
5.
and any single one of them could go up against Max Holloway, and then winner takes the title shot. I'm happy with literally any one of those fights.
Look, I'm not saying I have a problem with there being a fight before the title. Okay. But when you are going against, when you're doing that to a long reigning champion, I feel.
But it's
like,
not the first time.
I know it's not, but I'm not. That doesn't mean it's right. You know what I mean? Like I never support that. Like that's how it is. Like I have no problem. For DC, he won the title. Okay, well, that's one. Then he lost it. That doesn't mean he deserves it right away. He never really held it that long. You know what I mean?
So do you give Joanna a shot at the fucking belt again over Wailing and just disrespect literally everyone that's been on?
No,
winning
because
streak?
Joanna didn't have it before. No,
But that's what I'm saying is everyone who's on a winning
No,
streak.
who
Max
is
has lost his last 2 fights. So
No, yeah.
everyone who's on winning streaks to climb their way up gets snubbed for a title shot because the guy who just lost wants it back. I don't
And
even
if
think
he-
Max
and then-
Holloway would think that's fair.
And then what if he gets smacked again?
then you
Okay,
really
then-
piss
all
off
right.
the entire 145 division.
Yeah.
Well, fuck them. Fuck
Fuck
Yeah.
them. Fuck one guy. Fuck Max Holloway. He has to fight somebody else. If you fight somebody else fights for the belt and loses, then you build a really exciting next fight.
Yeah. Like let's say right now they just made a card off these rankings and Max didn't get a shot. Though like he shouldn't. It'd probably be Zabit versus I'm just going off the next ranked because I don't think Ortega deserves it. But it'd probably be Zabit versus Alexander. And then Max probably Korean Zombie.
I really think Max and Ortega would be a good fight to make too, just because their last fight was an all-out banger and
Yeah.
everybody loved watching it.
A
And
banger for one side, though.
yeah, exactly. It was it was a great fucking fight. Like, would you not watch that fight again?
Oh, yeah.
That's-
I
it's
would.
like-
I would
it's like-
rather see.
It's like saying that this Ferguson Gaethje fight, it was the same exact fight pretty
Yeah.
much as that. Like,
I would rather see Yair go against the Korean Zombie, and if you're gonna give Max another fight, give the winner of that fight. Max.
well, they scheduled Ortega versus Korean Zombie, and I forgot what
It
happened.
got canceled or something.
Yeah, something
Ortega
happened.
got hurt.
Ortega's career is like up in the air right now because that dude.
I don't
cannot
know why
stay
he's
healthy.
fucking number 2, dude.
I just
Like
don't
that guy,
get
he
it.
hasn't fought in what? Damn near
Now-
2 years. This year is gonna be 2 years.
I want to say he blew out his leg or something. Hold on. 'Cause
Hey,
he-
shout out Ryan Hall though. He's in the top 15.
Ryan Hall is
Yeah, dude. Number 14.
Really?
Number
sick.
14.
I fucking love Ryan Hall.
It's been a
Hey,
while, man.
People
Watch
don't
out.
think jujitsu be like that, but it do.
hey, watch out for my boy Yusuf.
Hold on. Oh, he suffered a partially torn ACL in December.
Yeah, dude. Now, hey, Brad, you seen Sadiq Yusuf?
No.
Dude's a savage. Dude, look him up. Savage.
Sadiq Yusuf?
Yeah. SODIQ YUSUFF.
That's USIF? What?
His first name SODIQ. Last name YUSUFF.
That's not words. Oh, why does he look so familiar?
Dude, he's a beast.
Who did he fight last?
Let me see if I can find it. I'm looking at the standings, so I just clicked on
Andre
his name.
Feely in Las Vegas. Oh,
And-
this was on the Colby Covington card.
Yes.
I think I do remember this fight.
Yeah, dude, he's hella good. I like him.
He's at
I was-
145?
Yeah, I was surprised to see him in the top. I thought he was still like kind of coming, but he's number 13. He jumped
he's-
Ryan Hall.
Do we want to move on to this week's fights?
We do have 2 fight cards coming up before the next podcast comes out. We do have a couple of cards. We have Anthony Smith versus Glover Teixeira. which is going to be exciting. I really like Anthony Smith. And if we want to talk about like how we were saying people like Cejudo, how he had to build this goofy star power around him, I feel like Smith is one of the people who hasn't done that. Every time Smith talks, he always seems so down to earth and like a good person. I always like seeing him win.
Until that guy broke into his house.
Yeah.
Rip in the chat.
Yeah. And then OSP and Rothwell too.
Boo.
But are you booing Rothwell or OSP?
OSP.
Why are you
Rothwell.
booing OSP?
I said Rothwell.
Oh.
You're always talking shit about OSP.
Brad, get him.
I like OSP. I like
I
him
do
just
too.
because he lands Von Flue chokes. Like, who does that? That's a move that nobody gets tapped out by. Like, how does he keep landing them? I think he's landed 4 now. And then on Saturday, which actually, to be honest with you guys, I don't know what your thoughts are. I kind of like the Wednesday card better than I like the Saturday card.
I'm up in the air about it.
It has
It's
good
like,
women's fights on Saturday.
Yeah,
it
Angela
does.
Hill.
Yep. And Las Vegas local Claudia Gadella.
Yeah, I like Saturday. I like Overeem. I like what action he could bring. He's either getting knocked out, or knocking someone out.
It's going to be a highlight either way. Yeah. Win or lose for Overeem, he's going on somebody's highlight reel.
And then
Yeah.
I like when Barbosa fights. Similar. Could be an electrifying knockout.
yeah.
And Walt Harris to make a comeback too. I know they did a lot of fight promotion for it with the death of his daughter and everything like that. It's going to be exciting, and I think there's a lot of people pulling for him. I don't know if that's skewing the betting odds though, because he is the favorite, and I don't think he should be. I like Walt Harris as a fighter, don't get me wrong, but I think people are pulling for him and placing bets because of the death of his daughter and everyone wants him to win. I don't know.
Could be.
I like him and I'm rooting for him, but just because I like him as a fighter. But could be, possibly.
Yeah, I like him as a fighter too. I also like Overeem as a fighter. I mean, the dude's almost 100 years old and still fighting. But Walt Harris, yeah, that's going to be exciting to bring him back into the octagon. I'm really looking forward to see it. It's going to be a very emotional fight.
If you don't count that draw in 2018, I don't remember when he lost in 2016. So that was the last time he lost, 2016. If you don't count the draw, it's not a loss.
But 2012 was the last time that Ferguson lost.
True.
It's going to be exciting. It's just nice to have sports.
Yeah.
It's just nice, especially to give us 3 fights in a week. That's such a nice little treat that Uncle Dana's giving us. And
Uncle Dana.
yeah, it looked like they were doing pretty good too on like the social distancing and the whole coronavirus precautions and everything like that. I don't know what your guys' thoughts were on it, but it seemed like they were.
For the people that were complaining about the fact that, Joe Rogan's right up close interviewing. I saw a lot of people complaining about that. Saw a lot of people complaining that everybody was so close to each other. They have all been tested.
Mm-hmm.
They've all been tested. Nobody there has it except for one fighter, but he's not
and his
there.
entire team.
Yeah, and they're not there. Okay,
but
so they've all been.
I think the issue is that just because you get tested just means you don't have the virus at that moment of getting tested. Like if anyone shook hands with, it was Jacare that wound up getting tested positive. I think anyone who like shook hands with him or, was in close contact with him after he got tested, like that's a potential to spread the virus. Like
I know they were aware of it pretty much when he was there because his family member got it. So by Wednesday when he flew in, they self-quarantined him into one room and waited for all the weigh-ins to happen, then brought him out and kept him and his team like 6 feet from everyone else. So I think that's why they felt comfortable.
I did see he was one of the only people wearing a mask at the weigh-ins too.
So it was him and Uriah Hall. They made them both wear them.
Yeah.
And gloves.
But they were the only ones
that had a safe distance when they they were like posing. I think Johnny pointed that out.
So that's good. Okay, so I mean, maybe they were on top of it.
The
I don't
closest one to him was Uncle Dana.
know. Oh, and
He
Uncle
was-
Dana
he
was
was-
close to everyone.
He was 3 feet away because he was in between both of them.
That being said, I don't think fighters in the organization like are going to be high risk for coronavirus. Like if they catch it, I think it's going to be like if you or me caught it. I don't think it's going to be detrimental to their health, you know. It's not going to be bad. They're all healthy and in good shape.
Well, Greg Hardy does need an inhaler, so I'd probably watch out for him.
That's true. That's true.
So, but besides that, everyone else should be fine.
And Big Daddy Dana's old and fat, but I mean, I guess some of the officials and people there helping, like the doctors, I'm sure, are older and at risk and everything like that. But they also weren't in super close contact with him. So
Our boy Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer, yeah, that would be
That'd
tragic.
a tough one. And I'm pretty sure Dana sold his soul to the devil, so I think he's invincible.
He could be. He could be. Did he sell it for that island? I like the amount of jokes they made about the island at this last fight too.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
Hey, I have a question.
Oh.
It's kind of going back to the 155 division.
Go for it.
Cerrone's ranked number 6.
Still?
Yeah.
He's on a 4-fight losing streak.
They
Yeah.
haven't updated it.
But that's including his 3-fight losing streak.
Look, we've said these rankings are ass. We've said this once before. They're just so they look like they're doing something.
Yeah. He'll probably be a top 15.
Yeah.
I don't even see him top 15 anymore.
I don't either, but I think that's what's going to realistically be there. Just
Because of the name?
Yeah, because he can keep making co-events, stuff like that.
I'd like to see him grind at the bottom and get like a winning streak going and get a rhythm going and then start working his way back up into the 15.
I think they just feel that's too disrespectful. Like, not this should be that way, but I think at this point, just like, I know you said you hate when the past is brought up for that kind of stuff, but in this scenario, they're going to really play into that, like whether you agree with it or not.
You know who's going to get a top 5 fight next in that division?
Who?
My boy. He submitted Jaime's boy a couple of months ago.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Jaime, you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, bastard.
Charles Oliveira.
I could see him.
Dude, he's number 8 right now. He's on a... Hold on.
I like him. The dude's
on
good.
a 1, 2, 3,
I like his walkout.
7-fight win streak. All by 5 of them by submission, 2 by knockout.
Mm-hmm.
I think
he's a younger, not crazy version of Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
I think he'll get like a. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing him versus Dustin.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a good fight. Yeah.
I really like Oliveira too. He always seems like he's so happy and excited to be there, and he's always in such great spirits. I like that. That's cool.
Jaime hated him that last fight.
I just thought that was a bad matchup from the start for Kevin Lee. I love Kevin, dude, but I was like, "What are you doing? Like, don't do that." That was a very tough fight for him.
He's like, "Here's my head. Get me in a guillotine that you do."
Oh my god, dude.
I like Kevin Lee just because of his backstory and what he's been through. I don't like Kevin Lee as a fighter.
Yeah.
I love Kevin.
I
love his fighting style. I love how he fights, but he gets gassed.
He did fall to number 10.
Yeah. I don't even think he deserves that position.
Yo, not gonna lie, dude. Set it up. Him versus Cowboy.
He would destroy Cowboy. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say that. He's better than Pettis. So yeah.
I don't know about that.
And right now, he's better than Pettis. Right now.
I don't even think so.
Oh my god. Okay.
I don't think so. I don't like Kevin Lee as a fighter. I'm sorry. I don't think he deserves a spot in the top 15.
What?
Yeah. I don't think so.
He had one crazy knockout. That was it.
Yeah,
Okay,
who has he fought and won strategically and like decisively where he was winning?
All his wins. He was never really losing in any of his fights that he ended up winning. His wins he won because he was winning those matches. It's not like he came out of nowhere and stole those fights.
Who were his last wins?
Okay, where's he at? Let me
Who's
check
the
this real
last big name fighter that Kevin Lee's won against?
quick. You know what, man?
He got submitted.
Look, I give him a lot of
He beat
I
Gregor
give it-
Gillespie.
yes, and he
That was
was
a first
coming.
round
He was
knockout.
up
Then
and
he
coming.
lost to Rafael dos Anjos before that.
Because he moved up weight.
He lost to Out before
Yeah,
that.
he's lost 4 of his last
Hold
And
six.
on.
then he
I know.
knocked out Edson Barbosa in the 5th round. And that was in 2018.
That was a chicken wing.
Then he
Fight.
lost to Tony Ferguson before that.
Which everyone loses.
He
to Tony
beat-
Ferguson.
Hey,
He
that was a close fight before.
He
all right?
beat
Before
Michael
he got-
Chiesa in
He destroyed him.
2017.
Who I
Destroyed
guess
it was round 1 submission.
I was gonna say I don't know
Yeah.
how you can win a round one and say you destroyed somebody.
That-
Go back and watch it. I literally watched it last week.
That's literally it, dude.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
okay, look. After the Tony fight, or I think it was before the Tony fight.
That was before
His
the Tony
trainer,
fight.
hold on. His trainer died. Okay, his
I
coach.
don't care.
I don't care.
No, dude, hold on.
You ride that momentum like
hold
Walt
on.
Harris.
No, hold on. He was doing that without a legit camp. Okay? And I know that was a stupid move, but he felt like he didn't want to betray that the one he had. Okay?
Well, that was his
So,
decision.
I know, I understand that. But that was not like those fights were not prime Kevin Lee. Like
That's okay. So are you saying Cody Garbarant's still a good fighter because he changed camps and he's losing every single time he hops into the octagon now?
no,
Hey, which one did
he's
you
fighting-
say? The Al fight?
No, I'm
Is that
saying I
you-
think it was after the Tony one. After or before?
So after Tony, he's 2-4, 2-5.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah,
you're
and that-
saying this is prime him.
No, I'm saying that's why he hasn't been fighting like that because he has he doesn't have the actual direction since
Then
he
get the direction.
Okay, hold on. And before his last, he fought what's his name during the roundhouse knockout. What was his last
Gillespie?
one? Gillespie. That's when he went up and started training with Faraz Sahabi. That's when he legit started getting the help. He looked good in that fight. He looked good. His last one, he got gas. He didn't make weight. It just wasn't a good camp for him apparently because he was picked apart. I thought that was a way too soon of a fight to go against Oliveira. I knew he wasn't ready for that right away. So I'm not going to make excuses for that. He got picked apart.
If his name's getting thrown around in the top 10, he should be ready for anyone.
Okay, dude. But I expect him to do better moving forward because he has a great coach now. Okay, I expect more of him from now, and that's when I'll be judging how he's gonna be. No, and the Cody Garbrandt thing, he's just a dumbass now and decides to bang like he has a great chin when he was never that type of fighter. Now I don't know why all of a sudden he thought he got balls like that. I loved him before when he was a technical and elusive striker. I don't know what he's doing. I don't think he's doing good at all right now.
Yeah, it's because Cody Garbrandt sucks now.
Yeah, because he's a dumbass. He decided to fight a completely different style than what he was successful at.
But if we're taking their fight camps and we're saying the fight camp really depends, if you're making that argument, he's 1-1 under Faraz Sahabi.
Yeah.
He wins half of his fights. That's not a great record.
It's just two. It's 2 fights. Not like it's been a total of 10 fights.
But
or anything.
also, if you're putting his one loss on a bad camp,
it wasn't one loss. He lost against RDJ even before. That was another loss right there.
under Faraz Sahabi.
No, he didn't have him.
That's what I'm saying. If the two
I'm pretty
fights
sure
under
it was a
Faraz
Tony-
Sahabi, if the two fights under
Yeah.
Faraz Sahabi are 1-1, and
Yeah.
you're saying one of them is a bad camp,
Well, no, for him that he had one. That was all on him. He didn't make weight. Obviously, it didn't show for him. I'm not blaming the camp. I'm saying that he himself did not train or something because he obviously didn't make weight. So something didn't go right for him right there. But I'm not blaming the camp for that. I'm blaming him on that. That's on him. But I'm saying
if you're in
I'm
the
saying-
top 10, you should be able to make weight every single time you go up into the fight.
no, yeah, I agree.
Ah,
I was
Jeremy
pissed off.
Stevens.
I was pissed off he did on that. But I'm saying now that he is gonna have a consistent presence there, right? I expect him to do better now. From now on, I expect bigger things from him.
We'll see. I don't think so.
Well, they're gonna throw him a scrub this next fight. So
All right, let's bang out the bets real quick. We'll just rapid fire them, get them done quick.
Okay.
All right, so we are betting on these Wednesday and Saturday fights as well for what's the loser doing? I'm assuming we're doing like winner picks, what the loser does or something like that, but it's not going to be a hot pepper this time. We'll find something. Loser's going to do something. All right, what do you guys got?
All right. So for Wednesday, I put 150 on Rothwell. Give me a earnings of 195. 200 on Moraz. Give me a winning of 580.
What?
She's a plus 290.
Jeez.
60 on Anthony Smith. That's for $36. And then $90 on Borg. Give me $65.
How many fights was that total?
4?
4.
And what's your winnings for that?
So my total winnings are 876 for Wednesday.
Yeah,
Jeez.
but Eubanks is going to win that fight, so you're not winning it.
We'll see. So for the Saturday card, I have $100 on, Ige. Is that how you say it? IGE.
Fuck if I know, dude.
It sounds right to me.
It's one of those funky names. It's one of those mysteries.
Yeah, so that would give me 110. I got 200 on Angela Hill. Give me a total of 324. I got 50 on Walt Harris for 32. And then 150 on Chikadas, which would give me 270.
Damn,
For
you're
a
going big.
total of 736, and for a grand total of 1,612.
So Johnny's
both-
going to be
for
the
both?
loser for next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, you followed a very similar strategy that I did last week.
Oh,
A little bit-
Yeah,
and
me
just-
and Gabe.
Just to
Mm.
clear it up for anyone listening, we're doing the total over both the fights. We're not doing 2 losers. It's going to be total of the $1,000.
All right, I will go next. So on Wednesday, I put 50 on Vittori, which is a winning of $32.25. 50 on Hernandez for $50. 125 on Borg for $175. 75 on Oven St. Preux for $57. $125 on Sarah for $362, and 75 on Anthony Smith for a whopping of $43, bringing my Wednesday total to 720. Now moving on to Saturday, I have 100 on Borrella, giving me 130. 35 on Chikaze, is that how you pronounce it? To give me $63. 65 on Anders for $71.50, and $150 on Matt Brown to give me $243,
You're going for Matt Brown.
and then 25 on Barbosa for a whopping $18. I was trying to set the smallest purse award for that one. 50 on Hill for $81, and 75 on Overeem for $97.50, bringing my total to $1,424 and $2,424 with the 500s.
I like how you said you were going with my strategy of picking safe bets, and then you just went with like a bunch of random underdogs.
Wait, Gabe, how much did you say your total was? Like for the whole weekend?
Winnings though.
1424.
Jeez.
Because I realized I'm not going entirely your route. I'm going to mix in a little bit of you and a little bit of Johnny, because what I did was I only went for the underdogs last week, and I had to get $0 and eat a pepper. So my strategy is to sprinkle some favorites in there and hope that someone goes 0 and something, Johnny, and I sneak my way into third place.
I went for Harris, sir.
We shall
Okay.
see.
All right, so I'll go.
What if all your
So-
favorites lose, Gabe? Then what?
Then I hope my underdogs win.
So
So what about
Like Gabe, I learned my lesson. Try to go for all underdogs, and we're taking a more Brad-like approach. That was a scare I did not need towards that last fight.
You were shitting yourself.
Can we not have both of us eat the peppers, please?
Shut the fuck up.
I can't handle nacho
I
cheese.
personally didn't think it was fair.
the
that
nacho
there was
cheese
no
is too
tie-
hot?
That there was no tiebreaker. Okay.
Listen,
Anyway.
if you get $0, you deserve to do something.
You're a
Yeah.
loser.
Okay.
However, if it was all 4 of us, we all should have fucking ate it.
Yeah,
Bro,
Okay.
that's sitting under a table in beer pong status.
yeah, that is. You're trolling at that point.
Okay. So I put 100 on Michael Johnson for 96 winning. I put 100 on Hernandez for 100 winnings. I put 100 on Rothwell. I would get 130. I put 200 on Anthony Smith, which would give me 114. So my winnings for Wednesday would be 440. Okay. Saturday, I put 200 on Walt Harris, so I'd get 125. I put 170 on Angela Hill, which would give me 275. I put 80 on Kevin Holland, which would give me 64. And I put 50 on Barella, which would give me 65. So my total winnings for those two cards would be 969.
All right. And the winning bets are Smith at $200 to win 144.
114.
Yeah, 114. Thank you. 100 on OSP for $67. 50 on Hernandez for $50. $100 on Arlovsky for $130. I think that's like my only underdog pick, actually. And no, one of them. And Eubanks I put 50 on Eubanks for a total winnings of $14.
Oh, you got beat, Gabe.
Damn
You got
it,
beat.
bro. If he wins that one, I can still win it if I win mine.
So that's a total of 375 for the Wednesday card. I got 150 on Walt Harris for $93, 150 on Claudia for 80, $100 on Barbosa for 73, and then 50 on Anders and Davis a piece to give me 55 and 23 respectively for 324 and 699 between both days. Let's
Okay.
go.
Let's
We'll
see
have to
how this
decide
plays
on-
out.
We'll have to decide on winning and losing for this one at a later date.
I'm just gonna say that if you fans have noticed, we are not as brave this week as we were last week after having that scare and atrocious picking last week. We have decided to go a little more sure wins,
I think I was the only one on last week's betting that actually would have won money if I placed bets. And it was only like $40.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, it was piss poor. There was a lot of upsets, but I think I bet a couple of underdogs, but yeah, there was a lot of fights that did not go our way.
Underdogs did shit this past week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably us just being hopeful and lack of sports probably mess with our heads a little bit there instead of going for the sure thing,
There was a lot of betting with our hearts too, but
Yeah, 100%.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining in on another episode of a Mike-Full podcast. Happy to break down some actual sports, and we have more sports coming this week, so we're excited to see those UFC fights. Next episode will be us reacting to it similar to this one, and even discussing the NFL schedule at some point. So look forward to a couple episodes coming out, and can't wait to see you guys. Peace.
Bye.
bye.